Hey, happy Wednesday, everyone. I hope you're well. Welcome to today's live midweek check-in. I'm the Urban Seer, your guide to love, destiny, and manifesting the life you desire. And I hope you're all doing well this Wednesday. And if you're not, then I hope this space brings you some peace, brings you some clarity, and answers to the questions that you bring today. Anyone new here, and as a reminder, if you would like a free reading, just click the link in the pinned comment. You'll be added to a list, and just wait for your name to be called and have your question ready. I don't do yes, no questions, timeline, or general readings, so just bear that in mind when asking your question. Please provide as much detail as possible. So for anyone new here, I'm an energy reader, so I tap into your energy, your situation, anyone involved in that situation. So by providing detail, clarity, it allows me to channel the messages for you in the best way possible and give you a meaningful reading. For all the guidelines though, just check the chat. The Nightbot messages have all the guidelines of how this space operates. But let's get into it. I'm going to go over and grab the list. Let's take a breath. Let's center ourselves and be open to the messages from Spirit that are coming through today. Hey Sruthi, hey Anne, hey Prabha, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I think Prabha is, you'll please hold your question. Click the link in the pinned comment. Hey Pooja, hey Ivo, lovely to see you all. Sruthi, Crystal, Rihanna, Namira, Josephine, Tia. Let me go and grab the list. I think I'll have to mute Prabha because they're just spamming the chat. I'll give them a chance to catch up. So Prabha, click the link in the pinned comment if you want to. I'm just gonna mute Prabha because they are just spamming the chat. And as you guys know here, it's not how it works. Hopefully you won't be able to see their messages anymore, guys. So sorry about that. It happens. So whilst I am grabbing the list, I know I can see that first on the list, so we have the lovely Crystal Candice. If you want to go ahead and post your question. And today I'm using the beautiful deck, the Guardian of the Night Tarot. Has lots of nature images, animal images, which I'm always drawn to. And I hope you enjoy it. Oh, hold on, my things have just frozen up, so just bear with me one moment. Okay, I'm not sure if Crystal is here, so Tia, if you want to go ahead and post. Oh, there we go, Crystal's posted. Thank you, my love. So that is all I would say, Crystal, with that question is that that's a lot of people, so that's a lot of questions and a collective energy. Is it who? What I would say is which one of those, obviously it's one question per person, who would you like to focus on most in that message? Because that's three, like I said, that's three different people's energy. So like I say, that's three different questions, Crystal. So focus on one, who you're most bothered about, who's most important to you. Thanks to you for posting. I'll read for you after, Crystal. Just waiting for this clarity. Okay. So you want to focus on Rocky, his best friend. See how the message that you sent was received, yeah? Spirit, how was the message received by Rocky, sent by Crystal, please? So I wouldn't really read the tarot about that, Crystal, okay? If you spoke to Nixon about the message, that's really kind of a yes-no energy. It's not how I read the tarot, so I'll just read how it was received, okay? And we have the Seven of Cups, which is an interesting kind of energy. It can be actually quite a confused energy. Being faced with a choice, being faced with a decision of where to move, what to do next. And how the Seven of Cups as well comes with an element of delusion and illusion to it. The Seven of Cups is when we really could do with being very more honest with ourselves and more honest about the situation. And that's how they're looking out onto the situation. Maybe they're not seeing Nixon clearly, you know, with them being their best friend. Maybe they kind of always want to think the best of them. This is just one example, you know, really kind of not being able to see the mistakes they've made, or that they're, just that they've made mistakes and made some bad decisions. Maybe they're not ready to see that. They're not ready to see this. And maybe, you know, the whole energy around this feels very messy, feels very mixed up. And I think they're in that kind of energy as well. An energy of confusion about what to do next. Overwhelmed this can be as well, Seven of Cups, because this is them. This is their Rocky. Look at all that, the cards just kind of spilling out again, the energy kind of just this sense of overwhelm. Seven Cups faced out in front of them, really not sure what to do, what move to make next, or I think who to believe. The message from Spirit and advice from them, which really is just on their own journey, I'm not saying that you should pass on this advice to them, is that they do need to be a bit more realistic about the situation in order to gain clarity, in order to gain their center. So I hope that resonated, Crystal. I feel like I don't know if you're feeling in that kind of energy, confused, overwhelmed as well. It's almost, I feel like they're as confused as you, is almost what I'm hearing, you know. And maybe they're just going, oh, this is all going to blow over, or all this is all going to work out. And it's kind of like, no, we're beyond that. Do you know what I mean? We need to kind of make some tougher decisions and take a tougher stance and point of view really at this point. But they're not there yet. They're not there yet. Okay. Moving on, so Tia B, my love, this is for you. So Tia says, still no contact from the Pisces. I'm surprised, wondering where he's at emotionally and if he will return. I refuse to chase. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm confused if it's just me that wants to reconcile and if the cards just pick my energy. Not really. I wouldn't, if we're looking at their energy and we're focusing on that and ask that, then let's see where they're at now, you know, because spirit listens, the cards listen to whatever question that's being asked. You know, the cards don't get confused. Spirit is not confused. So if I say, where is the Pisces at now? It's going to tell me where they're at now, yeah? So Spirit, tell us where this Pisces is at now. Ten of Pentacles, going round in circles. Taking literally about this, okay? When I see this card in this particular deck, because Two of Pentacles is when, can you see how this is really a whirlwind? Sorry, no, not a whirlwind, a whirlpool, because this is water here, a whirlpool of emotions that they are in some kind of tailspin. Pisces energy, when Pisces are very intuitive, are ruled by their emotions ultimately, okay? They can be very psychic, they can... it's all vibes with Pisces, really, okay? They can have other aspects in their chart, but having a Pisces sun is... you're living in all vibes a lot of the time, and that can be difficult, yeah? And basically, when they lose their center, which I believe that they have now, they're struggling to find their center in this connection, in this relationship. I don't know what the outside influences are. I know there's been family issues in the past, if it's that, or obviously I don't know the details of what's triggered this kind of no contact. But where they're at now about this is they're kind of spinning out. They are tripping out, okay? I don't know why they're freaking out, but they need to get grounded. They need to get centered. And they're in what I would call a tailspin, yeah? And that kind of whirlpool energy. Their emotions are currently on top of them, or ruling them. So this can't go on forever, okay? This isn't perpetual, like this will come to a close, and I think that they will come down from this and reconnect with you and make it, this isn't the end. Obviously you know more, Tia, about the details of what's triggered this. That's kind of irrelevant for me, I guess, when reading this for you, but this is where they're at now. So I imagine they have kind of the racing thoughts, that you're on their mind, and that they are, maybe they've got, you know, I know that we've had insecurity issues with this Pisces in the past. If that's what's got on top of them when we hear this kind of, you know, spinning out, wigging out, whatever you want to call it, it's that kind of vibes that I'm feeling here. Let it run its course, yeah? You're not going to chase, which is good. It's a strong position to hold. Let this just run its course, this spin. It's like a, you know, a bottle top that, not a bottle top, well, something that is spinning that it will slow down, yeah? It will slow down and become still, and they'll come back to themselves. It was a misunderstanding. Well, I would say that he's very bothered about this, so this is why I don't see him walking away or this being the end, because he is up a height about this. He's definitely in his feelings about this to you, okay? Let it run its course. And wait for him to come back to you when he's more grounded. That probably you wouldn't benefit actually from trying to connect with him now or reach out to him, because he's too much, you know, in a tailspin, emotional tailspin. I hope that resonated. Thank you, country. Let me just see where the list is at. I think I'll have to close the list now. And then I'll read for country. Thank you for posting your message. You're welcome, Tia. Okay, country says, good morning, Seer. Good morning, country. Last night, DJ said, I'm trying to regroup to listen at the right time. When I asked about him listening to my song, what's going on with him? I feel like he's in a rough space. Okay. That need to regroup, yeah. It's a strange message, isn't it, country? Spirit, tell us about DJ and what's going on with them. Judgment, Major Arcana. So something big is going on behind the scenes, emotionally, and maybe externally, you know, in the 3D. The Judgment card is, in this deck, we see a snake that is shedding some old skin. So some kind of transformation here. I mean, Judgment card is definitely not, I mean, none of the cards are inherently bad. Judgment is really a kind of card of karma. So it can be about things from the past, what we've done in the past, coming back to haunt us in a way. So we reap what we sow. So this can be something, you know, from the past, some past pain, some past hurts that they haven't dealt with, that are rising up. I don't know, you know, if they've expressed any other difficulties that are going on with them that are potentially triggering them, country. If they can kind of embrace this, and something needs to be addressed, yeah, to be rectified, something from the past, something that they've maybe avoided, yeah, and it's like that they can't outrun it anymore. It could be a variety of things, okay? It could be in this connection, or it could be to do with family. It could just be to do with childhood wounds, you know? It could be a variety of things that is making them, that is kind of triggering them. If they can face this, and if they can address this time round, they will emerge as this, you know, look how beautiful this snake is. It's gold, it's shining, it's renewed. And they can almost get back to themselves, but better, like a renewed, you know, better version of themselves, because this skin did need to be shed. this outdated version of themselves. But I just keep hearing the past is coming back. It's something that they try to avoid and they can't avoid any longer. Country says, it is strange. He keeps all his emotions and problems bottled up. But my spidey senses will get to sensing exactly. It can be about that, as well, even that you say, if someone continually bottles up their emotions, all their life, there is a bit of a breaking point or a sell-by date with that, okay? Because we all know that that's not really healthy, that's not really sustainable. But we can't force someone, we can't force someone to open up. They do have to come to that themselves. And I feel like this is what they're being presented, country, with an opportunity to change, I think. So I hope that they can find that inner strength to go through this transformation, yeah? Yeah, gentle with him while he sheds his layer. I hope he can embrace this change and maybe be more open with you, because you're obviously a very safe space country for them. Keep us posted, yeah? Okay, I'm just going to grab the final list. Hey, Jem. Yes, you are on the list. Don't worry, I'm just going to update it now. Just so everyone knows where they're at. There we go. You're welcome, country. So next we have Shruti, my love. If you want to post your question, please do. Exactly, country. Yeah, keep us posted. So Saruthi asks, what is my current energy attracting into my life? Like any new beginnings? Thank you for always reading for me, Seer. Lots of love and support. Thank you, Saruthi. Okay, let's see what's coming into your life in the near future. New beginnings. Let's ask, where is the focus going to be for the near future for you, Saruthi? What's coming in? Ooh, the Emperor. Okay, I'm just going to clarify this is someone else's energy or if we need to. I kind of feel like it is someone coming into your energy field. Which is very exciting. Yes, I believe it is. Ten of Swords, okay? Endings, which is what maybe you're experiencing now. So the 10 does interestingly come just before the Ace. Like you mentioned, new beginnings, and the Ace is new beginnings. And the 10 is where we're at now, which is what we're dealing with now, which is there has been a period of pain, of suffering, always when we see the 10 of Swords. Bitter disappointments, betrayals even, knives in the back, we see a very challenging time that has happened with the 10 of Swords, which can be over a period of years, or whenever you think this kind of latest period has been, but it can leave us feeling, we're always, when we get to a 10, particularly with the wands and the swords, it's like we're very burnt out, yeah, we're very done. And the 10 marks the end of this period. So it says the message of the 10 of swords is the worst is over, which is a relief, and which is a chance to take a breath. Yes, it's been very painful. Yes, it's been difficult, but the worst is over. And what comes next is an ace, is a new beginning. And that's when this Emperor energy comes in, which I believe is a potential partner, okay, a love interest, someone of influence. And the Emperor is someone who has a very strong energetic signature, okay? It's a major arcana. The Emperor is the boss of the deck. The Emperor really knows what they want and pulls no punches. And I think this is someone, Shruti, who could really be an exciting prospect for you, someone who has something to offer you, okay? It's like that they're quite established, the Emperor as well. Often they can be in business or successful in their area of expertise. Yeah, often say like a boss or a manager, that they have people who work under them, and they're good at this as well. It's not just that they have this kind of power and influence. Influence feels like an important word here. They're a person of influence, but they're also good at it. Yeah, they're kind of a tough taskmaster, but they're also fair. And I feel like this will be a really interesting energy for you, and something that you've been holding space for and waiting for. Shruti says, yes, a lot of relationships are ending, a lot of disappointments and betrayals, exactly, just as you said, for a few years. Yes, I'm glad it's finally over. So we're marking this ending now. We're at this pause, maybe, at the current energy, that this is over, this is the end. All we can do in this space is kind of heal. I think the focus needs to be on healing, and then being holding space and being open to what comes next. Like maybe you feel that you're on the precipice of something new and a new beginning. And I feel like if you can hold that space, which I believe you will, then this Emperor energy can come in and really shake things up for you, Shruti, okay? And be a positive influence in your life. So keep us posted. Watch this space, Shruti. That Emperor energy is, I really like this. It's like a sort of the positive masculine qualities, you know, a strong character. Okay, I'll leave it there. Keep us posted, Shruti. So next we have Anne Franklin, my love. If you are here, if you can go ahead and post. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Anne. So Anne asks, what does the person on my mind truly feel or notice about me? Let's have a look. Page of Wands. So there's an attraction here. Always when we see wands, it's about our heart's desires. It's about passion. I feel like this has come up before when we read for this person for you, Anne, that there is a physical attraction here. There is passion here. And this is them as the Page of Wands, who... The Page of Wands always comes, I always say about the page that there is still a kind of a watching and learning and gathering information kind of energy. The page is the moment before the Knight is the movement and the action. So the Knight of Wands, say, would be the reaching out to you to move things forward, to, you know, go on a date, want to have a relationship with you, take all those kind of actions. The Page is when we are drawn to someone and watching them and gathering information still. So I don't know if you're in communication or not yet. But yes, it did come before, didn't it, Anne? So this is like a consistent thing, that there is a magnetism here, always with Wands, because it's fire. So they are drawn to you. You know, they are physically drawn to you as well, as in that they find you attractive, they find you beautiful, they are watching you. Look at these sort of beautiful flowers here as well. I don't know what the block is, maybe you do. I don't know if it's circumstantial. Why this hasn't progressed. I don't know if you can tell me any more about the situation. Obviously share whatever you feel comfortable with, but maybe you're aware of, maybe there's something in the situation that you're aware of what's slowing this down. Because it feels like we're always sort of on the precipice of this becoming something, but I'm not quite sure what the block is. Maybe you know. I'll leave that there though, Anne. I hope that resonated. Pooja, my love, if you were here, please go ahead and post. Anne says, I'm not sure about his feelings yet. I mean, they look to be, you know, where they should be, Anne, is all what I say. So waiting for him to take action, yeah. I mean, maybe we could look at that another time about what the block is, if you wanted to, because I keep getting this, you know, passionate, fiery kind of energy, but then it kind of seems to stall. We can look at that another time if you wanted to, but I hope that resonated. Thanks, Pooja, for posting. Pooja asks, what do the cards reveal about the energies surrounding my upcoming APFC exam on November 30th and the outcome I'm hoping for? I'm always grateful for the guidance and clarity I receive in your readings, Mom. Thanks, Pooja. So I don't do yes/no questions, as you know, but like you say, we can always look at the energy surrounding this, if there's any guidance, or, you know, if it's positive, if it's challenging. Let's have a look. So we've got November 30th, what we are now, nearly the end of October. Spirit, please comment on Pooja's upcoming exam, please. The APFC. What do we have? Knight of Swords. Information, intellect. The Knight of Swords has a very go-getter energy, so I do feel like this is positive energy for you, Pooja, okay? There's a very much with the Knight of Swords, it's like we've got to go for it, all in, yeah, and not hold back. And we need to be very clear and very direct. That's what Swords energy is, okay? It's just like about, it's not having, you know, there's no indecision here. It's very forthright. So I feel like that's about how you deal with this, how you go into this exam. It's important to bring this kind of confidence, maybe about not second guessing yourself, being wary of doubt, okay? Don't let doubt mess with you, mess with your energy, mess with your answers. The Knight of Swords is very confident, and they just go for it, yeah? Anything else, Spirit? Ooh, look at this. The Star, I mean, this is a beautiful omen message. It's a major arcana, and the Star card is about a wish come true, Pooja. So this is extremely hopeful, extremely positive for you, okay? It's like wishing upon a star, and I feel like this is the energy around this, Pooja, for you. You know, it would be somewhat of a dream come true, a wish come true for you to have, you know, a positive outcome for this. So for this to come through, I feel like is very encouraging. So the Star card also is a card of hope. So it's about just staying aligned with the vision. So this is about mindset, Pooja. You say you're doubting yourself a lot. So this is where we need to work on. We need to keep in a strong mindset and a clear mindset and a confident mindset, which I know is easier said than done, but it's important for you to work on that and align with that energy. And really having the self-belief, because with the Star card, it's about aligning with our dreams and believing that our dreams can come true and wishing that our dreams can come true. If you have a spiritual connection, Pooja, as well, if you have a connection to God, to whatever you want to call it, the universal light, tap into that and ask them to support you and help you through this as well. If you have guardian angels, your higher self, whatever you tap into, lean on them, lean into this and ask for help. But also hold that vision, and it's about self-belief, believing that this can happen, and then moving forward confidently and silencing that anxiety and silencing that doubting voice. So I hope that resonates, Pooja. Hey Micaiah, the list is closed today, but I will be live again on Friday. So I go live Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, Micaiah. If you want to join us again, then please do. Okay, moving on. So Anshuman, if you are here, my dear, please go ahead and post. We have Anshuman, and then we have Namira. You're very welcome, Pooja. I'm glad it resonated. Very hopeful and positive, really, with both those cards. No problem, Micaiah. I hope you can make it on Friday. I'll confirm the time on. I always keep an eye on the community post, which is where I post all scheduled live streams. Okay, we have Anshuman, we have Namira, and we have It's Me Again. If you all want to go ahead and post your questions, if you are here, there might be a bit of a delay in the chat for me if you already have posted. But just to let you know who the next three are: Anshuman, Namira, It's Me Again. Thank you, Namira. So Namira asks, hi Seer, my energy is very low last few days. Sorry to hear that. Maybe it was too much the last years, yeah. My mum passed, my relationship went down, and problems with my son is now breaking me up. That is a lot to deal with, Namira. Would you just like a comment on that, or I'll just wait to see if there's another part of this question? Okay, just let's have a look at a comment on this. See what guidance spirit has. Where to go from here, hey Namira, after all of that? Three of Pentacles, interesting. I feel like the Three of Pentacles, okay, this is about not doing it, trying to do it alone. Being, I hope, Namira, if this is possible, that you have other people to lean on, or maybe even about seeking help if you would want to talk to someone professionally, you know, even about seeking that help if we don't have loved ones, friends, family who we can really share our pain with and talk it through. Sometimes we need to, you know, professionally find someone where we can just talk this out freely and not have to feel responsible for someone else, etc. But it feels very strongly that the message from Spirit with regards to this, because the Three of Pentacles is about collaboration and working through this with others, and maybe feeling like you have to deal with this all on your own. And actually this is a time when we need to lean on people if we have them, or if we don't, then find someone or some way that we can lean on people. And isolating ourselves, which is maybe when we've been through such painful things and we're dealing with such a lot, particularly, you know, like the passing of your mum, which is huge, losing a relationship, and now the problems with your son. That's enough to make anyone feel alone and isolated, really. So it's okay to seek help. And if you say yes, maybe that's the best to do with a professional, because then it's like you don't have to worry, you know, if you're the strong person, Namira, always the one who people maybe lean on you. It's hard to, you know, to switch up that dynamic when we as the strong person need to lean on someone. And maybe just having that space to just talk through these painful experiences can be very healing. Anything else, Spirit? Final message for Namira. Yeah, and this is about getting back to yourself, which is the Queen of Pentacles, which is all these beautiful qualities that you have. The Queen of Pentacles, you are so strong, Namira, and you're very good at like stepping up and doing what needs to be done. The Queen of Pentacles is very abundant, but she's very worldly wise. She knows the ways of the world and how to deal with those challenges that it brings and still shine and still grow. And I think you are someone who, like you say, yeah, mostly everyone leans on you. You're the strong one, exactly. And it's hard to have that role. It's better to be strong than weak. You know, that's what you must remember. But it is hard when we are feeling weak as the strong ones. As, you know, the Queen of Pentacles still needs to have her rest, her time to share her pain. But you're so good at kind of maybe as well being strong and seeming like you've got it all together. It's hard to step away from that, yeah, for people to see you differently. So sometimes we have to seek it out, and that can be, you know, professionally to find a right person where you can be vulnerable and you can be weak and you don't have to be responsible for them in any way, and get you back to your shining self. Hope that resonated, Namira. I'll leave that there. But I feel like, yeah, that message, like, you don't need to do this alone. Maybe that's how it feels. Okay, I'll move on. So it's me again. Are you here? We have it's me again. We have supporting character. Anshuman hasn't responded, so I'll have to move on from that. You're very welcome, Namira. Keep us posted. Oh, there we go. Thanks, it's me again. It's me again says, hi Seer, I had a vivid dream of a love interest of mine the last 3 days. Oh, lots of vivid dreams then, last 3 days, with whom we have lost contact for the last couple of months. Can we see what's the energy of this person towards me? We sure can. Was it like a positive dream? It's me again. Often sometimes when I think, you know, that, well, it doesn't even have to be in lots of dreams, but I'm a strong believer that, you know, particularly when it's a vivid dream, you can often feel the difference of that we actually can meet this soul in the dream time. It's me again. So that we're actually making contact in what I would call the dream time. So that person really has visited you, or you've connected in another dimension. So I would pay attention to those dreams. What was that person trying to tell you something in these dreams? What energy did they bring? They were trying to connect with you and say something to you. Maybe you're heavily on their mind at the moment, etc. Yeah. Let's have a look what's going on. What are their feelings towards you right now? There we go, yeah. So there is a pull. The wands is attraction, magnetism, which like this came through for Anne earlier. The qualities of the Page of Wands is this, you know, thinking of you, watching you in a way, so maybe viewing you on social media, or them being on their mind. Wands is all about our heart's desires as well, and our passions, so they are feeling a pull towards you, yeah, a magnetic pull. And ultimately, I guess, because it's kind of like a physical attraction and heart's desires and passion, there's that pull to reconnect in that way. So explore that. I don't know if you would feel like you would want to reach out and check in with them, and just say hi and see where that goes. or you might want to you might want to wait for them to make that move, because we're, like I mentioned, the page is when they're kind of thinking of you and thinking of next moves. That pause before what comes after the page is the Knight, and that's when we really kind of make our move. So they might just be gearing up to make that move, or kind of thinking about reaching out to you, but they're just not quite there yet. So you can wait to see if that does develop and progress into the Knight of Wands. But I would just say that they are feeling drawn to you, and you've been on their mind and thinking maybe to revisit this, because there is still a physical attraction there and a pull there. So I'll leave that with you about how you feel about responding to that. So I hope that resonated. So next up we have supporting character, and then we have Kristen Conlar. You're welcome, it's me again. They say, yes, I will wait to see if there is a communication, if this person feels like it. Thank you, no worries. Keep us posted. Supporting character says, hi Seer, I sent my novel to a publishing house. Awesome. The editors haven't responded yet. What does their silence mean? I don't know if they don't want to publish it or just haven't read it yet. Okay, let's see what the energy is surrounding this. See what it tells us. Well done on completing your novel. Supporting character, I know that's a very big undertaking. So let's see what the energy is around this particular publishing house. The Lovers. I mean, the Lovers card is all about connection, which is interesting. It's a major arcana as well. I'm going to pick one clarifying card just to confirm. Oh, and another major arcana as well. Justice, so a positive outcome for you, supporting character. Justice feels like a kind of celebration in this setting. What I'm going to say is, so I feel like that it's about connecting obviously with the right publishing house. I feel like because these two major arcanas have come out, now it could just be very straightforward that it's with this publishing house that you have connected to the right one already. But it's also on a broader spectrum. It can be about that you will make this connection, yeah, with someone who kind of understands what you're trying to say with this novel and aligns with you and your voice. And I feel like as well that this, because the Lovers card, can we see it's like lobsters who mate for life. It's about having this being a long-term relationship, yeah. So if you planned on future books, and that this is not just with this, it can be a long-term relationship, a publishing house that you connect with who really gets you and wants more from you, and it can be a long-standing relationship. And justice is that fair outcome. You know, these sort of flowers look like trumpets of celebration, and you get to spread your wings. There is an element here as well of kind of just needing to surrender to the process as well. I don't feel like Spirit is going to completely, I mean, I can ask one more. Is it this one? Is it a different one? Can you tell me that, Spirit? It's just so much positive energy here. Nine of Cups is like fulfillment, satisfaction, getting what you want. If not this, I mean, very much I think that this, all the energy, you know, in relation to this question is super positive. So it could just be that, yes, this is the one. This is the one that has all these qualities for you, and that they'll give you what you want. But I also think it is Spirit, you know, if not this one, then there will be one. This is like very like the guarantee that this will happen for you, because this is you satisfied, fulfilled. Nine of Cups is a beautiful card for that. It's like, you know, cup runneth over with that. This very important connection, connecting with a publishing house that gets you, and then this sense of kind of justice, of like, yes, finally, or, you know, connecting with someone who understands you and gets this. So I'll leave it there, because, you know, it could just be straight up this one, but I don't do yes no questions, so, you know, I can't say yes for definite. That's not how I read for the tarot, yes for definite that this is the one for you. But I would just say, what I can say is that the forecast, you know, for you being able to get this novel published and for that process to happen, was all those cards very promising to say, yes, it's just a matter of time about connecting to, you know, your lover, but in the form of a publishing house. Okay, great read. Hey Kristen, thanks for posting. This is for you, Kristen. So Kristen asked, hi Seer, since the last read about the situation between my sister and I, we have made some changes. Yes, I remember the difficult situation that you were in, but I feel that it's only me that is consistent and continuing to put an effort. That's hard. I just want to know how she feels about me and what will be the outcome. Okay, so let's see what your sister is feeling about you. There's some defensiveness that comes through a little bit with this for me, was the first energy. Because the Page of Swords is someone who, they can be quite sharp with their words. So the light side, you know, when they are, Page of Swords is in a positive energy, is that they get straight to the point, that they communicate clearly, etc. But the shadow side is of the Page of Swords, like I say, is that their words can be come across as quite harsh. The delivery can be off, you know, that it's not sensitive. And just the kind of stance of this page, yeah, is kind of like sort of defensive and holding back in some way, about they're not sure about this situation themselves. The page is a time of assessment as well, sort of gathering information, thinking on this. thinking of their next move. So maybe they're quite taken aback about what you've done, or that it's kind of ruffled their feathers in a way about you making these changes, and it's put them, they're a little bit like, I'm not sure what I think about this, I'm not sure what I feel about this. It's not what they're used to. So if you're trying to turn the wheel, you're trying to change a relationship and trying to change the dynamic. So when you stop playing your part of how it's always gone, and you start putting up boundaries, and you start saying no, and you start asking more from them, this is going to put their, more than likely most of the time, it's going to put that person's nose out of joint. So I suppose, I'm going to pull one for what's the outcome, because that's where they're at now. And basically, I suppose it's about accepting, Kristen, that, it wasn't good how it was before, but if they're kind of more of a selfish person and not very considerate, then it was probably working for them more, how it was. So this change is like they're not quite sure how to deal with it, and it's put them on the defensive. It's put them on the, I don't really like this. Where is this going? Is this going to last? It can take time as well, if you're trying to change the dynamic between a very long-standing relationship, with you and your sister. So it can take time. She might accept it, or it can, if she's not going to respond to this in a positive way, then that kind of tells you, that you might have to distance yourself from her or walk away. Let's see what comes next after she's kind of got to grips and realized that this isn't going to change. And if you can consistently hold this line, Kristen, which feels very important, what comes next? Is she going to be able to accept it, basically? Or is she just going to, freak out, dig her heels in? And then that kind of backs you into a corner about what you have to do then. I'm glad this is resonating, Kristen. What comes next, Spirit? The defensiveness remains. Look at this, like just on their face. They just don't look happy, do they? The Knight of Wands is when they kind of move from the defensive, it feels like, almost onto the attack more, because the Knight of Wands is when someone moves forward in a way. So there's a fight on your hands here, Kristen. Not to say that you won't win, but you're going to get some pushback. And I suppose it's your choice at this point. Do you want to give this time and energy? You might not have any choice as well. I don't know what you're living, your financial situation, your living situation, that you might have to stay here, that, it's a long-term plan to kind of get out of this and change the situation. Many of us are in that situation, But stand your ground, but expect some kickback. They aren't going to take this lying down. They may amp up even their disgruntled kind of energy around this, start arguments with you, or whatever their style is, to be unhappy about this. Further down the line, things could be different. Like I say, this can take time to shift such a big wheel. And I'm not saying that you can't stick in with this and make changes and things could get better, but there is going to be, all I can say is there is going to be a fight on your hands with this. Now, if it's easier and if it's possible for you to walk away to an extent, I'm not saying go no contact, but I just mean if I'm right that you're in a living situation, because that's very intense, yeah? So you can walk, you can stay in contact with her, but you can just have that distance. But obviously, if that's not possible, then we have to kind of dig our heels in and hold that boundary and say, I'm sorry, I know you don't like this, I know you're not happy about this, but this is what's happening. This needs to change. I am going to consistently keep challenging you on this because things can't continue as they were. That time is gone. That's over. There's some immaturity here as well in both this page and the knight. So just remind me, I don't know if they're younger than you, or it can just be in their spirit, in their soul, that there is some immaturity here. There's some need for growth and growing up, which you're probably already aware from. But that's where a lot of this is coming from, is a kind of lack of maturity. But yeah, they're not maybe used to having their own way. That kind of energy, sulking energy a bit. So I suppose Spirit has been very clear about what to expect. And then you can choose, Kristen, what's best for you, I hope, or within circumstances, obviously, of what you can do. But don't give in. It doesn't sound like you will, but don't give in. I hope that resonated. Okay, I'm going to move on now. Hey, Samreen, nice to see you. Thank you for popping in. I hope you can make Friday. We have Eco 7, my love, next. She's not as aware as she thinks, yeah, so she lacks self-awareness. Thanks, Eco 7. Keep us posted, Kristen, as always. Good luck with that. Eco 7 says, you're very welcome, Kristen, as always. Eco 7 says, may I receive spiritual guidance on how I could align my energy with manifestation? Absolutely. I've been distracted solving some family issues. I remember last time there was some in-laws issues, and I need to focus on accomplishing my job now. Okay, so let's have a look at the area of manifestation and how you can align with that, Eco 7. Oh, look at this. This is the card of manifestation, Eco 7, the Magician. So it's a major arcana. It's about that it says you are manifesting all the time. You are already a powerful manifester, which is very interesting. So it's really just about a shift in perspective of that. Can you see how this Magician here, this energy there, it's almost like effortless what they're doing. They're just got their paw sort of resting lightly on this wand, which this light I feel like is the signal, which we often talk about in manifestation. Manifestation is about what frequency that you are sending out to the universe, and about embodying that frequency and leaning into that and trusting in your manifestation power and in trusting in what you want can come through. I really like the statement, so this is useful for me when manifesting, is because it's a co-collaboration between you doing your part and with the universe, yeah? And I like the expression which says, universe, show me how easy it can be to get what you want, yeah? Whatever it is that you're manifesting. And I think Eco 7, I kind of get the vibe that you are very hardworking and maybe a perfectionist, very diligent and very hardworking. And these are all fantastic qualities to have. But sometimes when we are naturally very hardworking, we can make hard work of things. And I think we need to bring in a sense of ease. And this badger here, I believe it is just being quite still. Their energy is still and it's low effort. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy. All we have to do is kind of emit this frequency, center our frequency, and trust that it's already done. There's a real quiet, calm confidence that this manifestor, this magician has. And belief, I think, Eco 7, that you already are that powerful manifestor that you want to become, but you're already actually that powerful manifestor. So that's a beautiful message, and I hope it resonated. Just a few tweaks there to taking the foot off the gas. Less is more. Grounding our energy, being still and trusting. It's a lesson for us all there. So I hope that resonated. I'll move on now. So we have Josephine, my dear. If you are here, please go ahead and post. And then after Josephine, we have Paula. If you are here. Welcome, Eco 7. So just to let you know the list where we're at now. So we have Josephine, we have Paula, we have Jem, and then we have, last but not least, Katana. There's always a bit of a delay in this chat, so for me, so I'm just going to hold on to see if Josephine is still here. But Paula, you can also go ahead and post your question. Please do as well, just so we can keep things moving. And anyone who's watching or is watching and didn't make the list, I'll be live on Friday. It will be the 31st, so we're going to do a Halloween special. I'll update the details later on in the week, either later today or tomorrow. Just have a little fun Halloween special live stream, so I hope that you can make it. Okay, so let me know who is here. Jem, are you here? Katana, just if you are here and you are waiting for your turn, please just go ahead and post your question now. And I'll read for whoever posts next, because I think we may have lost a few people along the way. But this is my last call out, but if not, there we go. Thank you, Jem. And last call out as well for Josephine, Paula and Kitana. Post your question now. If not, I will just have to skip you and end the live. Melissa, the list is closed, but I will be live again on Friday. If you can join us then, I'll post the details of the time, etc. tomorrow. So Jem, my love, this is for you. So Jem asks, I've been passing job applications to different government agencies, but unfortunately not been getting any. I have done 2 latest admin job interviews in a government hospital. What may the result? Thanks. Okay, so in the area, I don't do yes, no questions. But what I will do is what's coming next in the area of job, career, etc. Gem for you. Hi Paula, go ahead and post your question, please. And I'll read for you after Gem. So Gem, let's see what's coming in career. This is good. This is good energy, okay? 2 of Pentacles is about being busy, okay? So you, if things have felt stagnant, if things have felt, like you say, you've been putting that energy out there, you've been putting the applications in, and it's felt still and felt blocked, stagnant. But this is certainly a picking up of that energy. This is the opposite of that. 2 of Pentacles as well is about the money coming in, Gem. So this is very promising again. We see we've got coins, yeah? And it will be a busy period that is upcoming. So starting a new job can be quite overwhelming, a lot to learn. Maybe you've got other things as well outside of your work, you know, like family, etc., to also juggle that kind of responsibilities. But I suppose what it's doing is the universe is making it clear and giving us the green light that yes, this is gonna, the wheel will turn for you and it will come in. Now, what we can do when we're entering this busy period is it's just important for us to stay grounded. So whatever ways that you do that, Gem, okay? If you meditate, if you go to the gym, if you go for a walk, you know, just to feel centered, just to calm and ground your energy, because there is the potential here of when this switch happens. Yes, it'll be exciting and fantastic, but it'll be quite a lot to take on. And you'll find yourself juggling. This is the card of juggling responsibilities. But ultimately, it's happy because we're happy to be busy again, and we're happy to obviously have the money coming in and to have that weight of worry of not having that is over. So just when this change comes, just ensure to, almost a year, that's hard, Jim. I've been there myself. It's incredibly frustrating to endure that, yeah, and the financial worry as well that brings. But here we are, busy, working. This could be some kind of person as well, I feel like, because it's a 2, who, like maybe a manager or a colleague, or maybe it's if you've got a partner, a life partner, and about things getting busy again for you. But anyway, yeah, claim that, because there is a switch up coming in for you in the near future. Claim it, embrace it, and just stay grounded so that you don't feel too overwhelmed. When that work comes, yeah, keep us posted, Jem. Keep us posted. Okay, I move on to Paula now. So last but not least, Paula says, today what happened at my workplace with A? Is it going to be problematic for me? So can you tell me more, Paula, about that? Because that's quite vague. And like I say, as an energy reader, the more you can share, the more I can connect with you and give you a meaningful reading, yeah? Thank you, Katana. I see you as well. Do we want to, Paula, look at, I'm assuming that A is a colleague. Do you want to look at A's energy, feelings towards you? Tell me more about this situation, Paula, so I can really get to know what you're asking here, okay? So again, Josephine, who is us? Tell me more about your situation. Is this a love relationship that you're talking about? Is it a friendship? Okay, so Paula says, I was talking normally with A, but he mistook that I was flirting with him. Let's get some spiritual guidance on this then. I mean, that's a him problem, not a you problem, Paula, I would say initially, as well. If he took it the wrong way, then guidance on this, please, Spirit, for Paula. Yeah, Seven of Swords. So Seven of Swords is tricky energy, and maybe that you're dealing with, say, A is a tricky character. Okay, Seven of Swords is someone who the energy that they bring is not straightforward, trying to get away with things, trying to be sneaky, yeah? So what I would say, Paula, is protect your energy around this person. Don't put your trust in them. You can handle them, if you just have clear communication, strong boundaries, and give them from now on. So if you're not interested, to obviously give them that clear message. We don't have to do that in a rude way or an abrupt way. We can just not really, we can keep this interaction professional and kind of maybe as minimum communication as possible. But it's interesting that because this Seven of Swords energy has come through, it is quite tricky, and it would suggest that they're quite a tricky character. So don't let them twist things, you don't have to engage in that with them. But in order to do that, just keep things professional, keep communication clear, straightforward, keep your guard up, and keep your boundaries with this person. There we go. So sometimes he speaks in a very jovial way, but suddenly makes me feel guilty for my normal actions. So be very clear, Paula, that this is their a kind of character flaw with them, yeah, that they are a tricky person, they are someone not to be trusted. So it's important to keep our barriers and our boundaries up around these people and not buy into what they're selling to you, okay? Trying to make you feel guilty, trying to make you feel uncomfortable about normal things, yeah? Can you see that kind of sneakiness? So yeah, protect your energy around them, Paula. Keep your boundaries up. Okay, so I read for Katana, and Josephine, if you can tell me, like I say, more about this connection. So will things move forward between us? Tell who is us, etc. And I will read for, where's Katana's question? So Katana says, hey, I hope you're doing good. What Spirit wants me to know about coming towards me in love? You're single. Okay, Katana, this is for you. So, Spirit, what is coming next in love for Kitana? Seven of Pentacles. So, Kitana, a period of options, choices. I feel like you've come for Seven of Pentacles is about actually you've kind of in this area of your life, maybe you've been doing some work on yourself, inner work, but it's about that you've kind of come farther than you may think. And the Seven of Pentacles is about a period of assessment and about can be a period of reflection as well about what we've learned in past relationships up to this point, okay? About things that we don't want to repeat. So mistakes that we've made, ways that we've behaved that haven't worked, and also looking at things that have worked and aiming to repeat the good stuff and leave the kind of toxic behaviors or the red flags, you know, in the past. Could be that you may be tested from someone from the past, actually, if they're still in your energy field or coming back to you, that you are presented with someone where it will be like, is this something that I want to revisit? I also see that new people are coming in because there's something about with it all these different pentacles. It feels like options. It feels like choices, more than one. And there'll be sort of important decisions to make on your part, really about who you choose. And I feel like it's a very important about choosing the right person for you and not ignoring red flags and being quite strategic as well about who you let into your energy field and who you choose to have a relationship with. It's about almost like less going with your heart and more about going with your head this time around moving forward. So when you are presented, these are options and choices, more than one person that you will be presented with, okay? And you need to embody that energy of, you know, maybe you have strong feelings for someone, but you know that they're not right for you. And it's about kind of nipping that in the bud straight away. And maybe exploring the option of someone who is a better option, yeah, but maybe these feelings need to, it's more of a slow burn and we need to grow with them and get to know them and take your time. So not rushing in, taking things slow. And yeah, I just keep here, be strategic for yourself. Less heart and more head, which may sound contradictory in the area of love, but really it's about finding someone and choosing someone that is actually going to be good for us and right for us. But yeah, I do see you in the future, like I say, having choices and options and more than one love potential. So obviously you need to do your part. You need to get out there, socialize, date, so that you can kind of cross paths and say yes to these situations and these invitations. We do our part, and then the universe can bring these people in for us, and then we bring this kind of strategic energy. So I hope that resonated. Okay, so I don't think Paula got that message with regards to, I'll just leave it one more moment. So, sorry, not Paula, Josephine, about needing more info on the question that you said. I don't think there was any response to that, so I'm not able to read for you with the question that you gave because there wasn't any context. You're welcome, Katana. Blessings to you. So thank you to all so much for joining us on today's live. I hope the messages you received brought you some clarity, brought you some peace and some inspiration for the days ahead. Remember to take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and always trust your own inner guidance. I'll be back on Friday with a Halloween special, so keep a lookout for the schedule on the community page for that. But sending you all love and light, and take care, and I will see you soon.